Okay, we're back, ready to mark our top and back for the bracing. The first thing I do is I mark the center line on the top, just down to the center of the sound hole, and then at the bottom so that when the neck is going to be put on or anything else that happens, that center line can be referenced from the outside. Then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to mark the center line here, and I'm going to use my templates. I've got bracing templates for all the different sizes. And I'll mark the bracing pattern on the top, then I'll cut the sound hole. I'll do the back bracing pattern and do a little bit of cleanup, and then these will be ready to go to the bracing decks with Erin. So the first thing I do is mark the center line. I can see there's a little bit of offset in the join here, so this one's easy to find. Sometimes not so easy. I use a light touch whenever marking on the outside of the instrument because that is going to have to be removed.
I'll say that you'll see us using rulers from time to time, like this one. The brand is Incra, I-N-C-R-A, and I either got those from Amazon or from Woodcraft, or maybe from Rockler. You'll find them, but we love them. They're graduated in 30/2 of an inch, and they've got little cutouts for a 0.5 millimeter lead and 1.5, whatever that is.
This is my tenor bracing outline.
Ben made these templates. Shar used to have to, had other templates that were not nearly as good, and these are, I think Ben went to some store and got, maybe to Home Depot, and got material used for road signs, and cut them up, but they're great. They work really well.
My pencil is running out of lead, of course.
Just gonna come over here. So it makes, if you're gonna make more than about 5 instruments or so, make templates like this. And our templates started out in paper and they went to cardboard, and now they're something really
not
this
super
material's
easy
really
to
good.
see, but Erin can see that. Then I have my circle cutters.
They're up there.
The circle
We
cutters
got those
use
from LMI, by the way.
Circle cutters have a larger diameter than the hole that I have drilled. But since I don't want to go back and drill another hole, we have this special little pin that I can use that increases the diameter.
It's got a step in it,
Yeah.
right? 2 diameters.
And so this is my tenor circle. I leave that set up so I'm not changing or measuring it. And
So that's got a very sharp blade that's sticking down. She's just going around. Now she's scoring the top. Having scored it, she's now going deeper. And she'll then come in from the other side. It's going to leave her with the hole that's been cut there is going to have squared off sides. And you'll see her clean that up in a minute. One thing she didn't say earlier is that when these sides are, when the top and back are transported, like to Ben's shop and to Carrie's, the show sides are always against each other in transport. And that's because we're just very protective of that show side. It's amazing if you get a scratch or a ding in it, you'd think, well, I can just sand that out, but you're going to leave yourself with an uneven surface, and they're really hard to see, dents especially, and you won't see them till late in the finish process, and by then it's really hard to fix them. So you'll see us do a lot of things that make sure that we don't damage anything, or that anything that we do we notice early. Now she just popped that sound hole out.
sound hole will be used for something like one of our. Okay, so you can see I'm ready to go here. This is marked. I'm going to clean that up, and then we'll.
All these work surfaces are MDF or really high quality plywood. And you'll notice Char is forever kind of brushing and cleaning them off. This is just a little bit of sandpaper that she's using. But this is a shaping operation. I differentiate between shaping and sanding. Sanding is something where you're getting out previous sanding scratches or marks from a scraper. You're prepping for finish. Shaping is where you're just changing the shape or surface of the wood. And here she's putting a small radius on the inside of that sound hole.
And this edge will get cleaned up even more during finish. I like to do this while I have some, well, it's flat. And I can just get at this edge here, around both. Pretty good. That will get cleaned up a little bit more once we have the bracing in and it's not stuck.
But that's it for the top until it gets braced.
Correct. That's it for the top. We're going to do the back. Top away. This is a little bit tougher to see, this center line. Give a little at the top and a little at the bottom. Very light line. So that can be used to line up various things like the neck. That's what you use that for, isn't it? Putting the neck on?
Yep.
Or lining it up.
And the bindings.
And the bindings.
Where the binding joint is.
Right.
Now she's on the inside of the back.
Right.
She's using that center line to line up the template.
What's going on with my pencil? Thanks. So after I have drawn the bracing pattern on the back, I'm actually going to take this to the bandsaw and cut around the outline of the body shape here, leaving about 1/4 of an inch or more, because this is going to go into the a radius dish to be braced, because we introduce a 15-foot radius into the back. And I think if as little resistance on the outer part of the shape as possible will allow that to take that radius.
And why didn't you take it off of the top?
I like to leave as much material on the top, like it's floppy right now. And so I like to leave support material around the edge. Once the braces get in, then it's very stable, and I feel like it's just safer to leave that extra material and not do things.
So again, that's a theme that you'll hear and see with us, which is at every turn, just trying to avoid problems and do our operations at a point in time where it is the least likely to cause any traumatic event.
Right. make this edge at the top flush.
And you squared that off right to the outline line, and that's because you're going to use that when you glue on
That's right.
the back. You're going to use that as a reference point.
That's right. And I put the center line on either end.
Because in the heat of gluing up, it can be hard to see.
That's right. And I also write the instrument number TC1527. I've written that here. And I forgot to put it on the top, but I'm going to put it there too.
And that's going to get covered up by the neck block, but until then we have a reference for it.
Correct. So again, I keep the show sides together, and this I will stack on the bracing deck so that Aaron will know to brace it. Thanks.